Mays, my favorite caller from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. Thank you for calling and holding. Mays, how you doing?
Well, hello, James. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Mark, I tell you, I wonder what he was doing in the 60s. I bet you he wouldn't break down and tell you what he was doing. And if Jesus is your Lord and your Savior...
What's that supposed to mean?
I would like for him to say what he was doing.
What he was up to in the 60s?
He still got it in him.
Got what in him?
What he had in the 60s, he got it in him today.
What is that?
Because the world is moving on and going to leave people behind like him sitting in the corner all alone.
Isn't that sad?
It sure is sad.
Shouldn't we love the people who...
Because when I hear him...
Shouldn't we love the people who are lost in anger?
No. Do I love the people that are lost in anger? I just love for them to get it out so they can go on and live their life.
Yeah. So then we shouldn't leave him behind. That's not nice.
It's a good thing for him to get it out so people can understand and see where he's coming from. He's coming out of the 60s. And if the Lord is...
What's wrong with the 60s?
I would like to know what he was doing back then.
I don't know. I think he was friends with some... I think he was friends with some white men who are not too much different from you.
No, doing the things that he complained about. He was probably back there doing the same thing on the Sunday.
Now you're in your imagination. You remind me of...
That's why I was asking him the question.
You once speculated...
You once walking around saying the Lord was his Savior.
You famously speculated that some particular white man spit on black people because he was the age of the... He was about that age that white men used to spit on black people, as if that was widespread.
You lying? You never heard.
I am not lying. You literally did it. I remember it. It came to mind.
Now what did I say?
You said he probably spit on black people because he's that age that white people were doing that.
That's what I used to tell Bible go-to guy. Yes, I did.
Right. See, now you remember.
Wrong.
All right. What's that?
So I'm saying I would like to know what Mark was doing back there. He would not tell you. And if the Lord is his
I don't think that he was ashamed. He's not one to hide his beliefs and past.
He talks about the Negro. So when he talk about the Negro, he thinks it's something to hurt people. The Negro, when it comes to the Negro, that was the most mistreated people in this America. The Negro was.
Oh, really? I don't think so. I don't think they were any. I don't think
the Negro had more dignity than he had in his whole body.
Well, a man of dignity has dignity.
Each other, and they did things with each other until somebody came in and figured out a way that they got to feed other people and not their own people and go to their stores. That's what Mark is mad about.
Yeah, the so-called civil rights movement was a mess.
They stopped feeding them. The so-called civil rights what?
The so-called civil rights movement was a mess.
Well, the laws that they came up with was not a mess.
Yes, they were.
When they had the freedom to speak, when they couldn't get stopped by the cops, and the kids sitting in the car, and the cops saying anything to their dad that they wanted to say, and they had to look at their dad like, "Well, you can't say nothing back." He had the right to.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true or not.
You don't know.
But you're not. Why do you want to talk back to police?
Why would you want to talk back to police?
Yeah.
Why would you be a cop standing in front of a kid, scolding the dad, and he didn't do nothing just because he passed by in a nice car and you didn't have one?
Is this something that actually happened, or are you in your imagination?
Sure, you'll have a lot of people can tell you about that story. But you listen to other stories.
But why would you want to... You didn't answer my question. Why would you want to talk back to the police?
Because the people being nasty to you. You didn't have no rights until the civil rights came along.
You had plenty of rights. Civil rights was a loss of rights.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, how? Explain it.
We have the basic right to discriminate. And now that has been violated...
That, right?
What's that?
You want to discriminate, but you don't want anybody to discriminate against you.
No, I'm okay with being discriminated against. Hey, Mays. I'm okay with being discriminated against. If I have a problem, that's a me problem.
Well, if I'm discriminated against, you know what I do? I don't do business with those people anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So leave them alone. Why do you
have your own place?
Why do you need the law? Why do you need the evil law to violate your basic right to discriminate?
No, it went like this. You could discriminate against people.
But you said that
working in your restaurants, doing all the work for you, but you couldn't even go in there and eat. But you have somebody in the back kitchen cooking.
Why would you want to repay evil with evil?
No, that's not repaying you. That's what I'm trying to say. Those people that happen to, still have respect for
talking back to the police,
loving people. They still have respect for them.
Maze, talking back to the police and anti-discrimination laws. Those are repaying evil with evil, and sometimes repaying good with evil.
And when I hear Mark talking about
How come you're moving on from my point?
No, I'm saying you're not correct.
Talking back to police is evil.
I'm saying the law.
I don't care what the police is doing. You don't talk back to them.
You talk back to them.
No, I don't.
You've seen a lot of people talk back to him and nothing happens.
I know because now we have a soft, weak mama spirit running the show.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good to talk. Do you talk back to police?
I don't want him to be mad if that's the kind.
Do you talk back to your husband?
What you say about my husband?
Do you talk back to him?
I'm not my husband's slave, and I'm not my husband's child.
That's not what I asked you.
Voice just like he has one.
You talk back to him?
If he give me a reason to, yes, I will.
But have you?
Excuse me?
Have you talked back to your husband?
Yes, I have. So what's wrong with that?
Do you apologize for being wrong?
Do you talk back to your mother? Or have you?
I have. I used to get in trouble for talking back to my mother.
You didn't get in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I wouldn't do that.
Huh?
I wouldn't disrespect my mother or my father.
How about you? But you disrespected your husband.
What? What are you talking about, James?
You said
you don't have a wife, so how can you tell me how to run my household?
Talking back is disrespectful. I'm not telling you how to run your household. I'm telling you that you disrespected your husband by talking back to him, right?
Really?
That's what talking back is. Isn't talking back disrespect?
Oh, I can talk back to him, and he can talk back to me. That's
mutual disrespect. That's not good.
Thank you. So what's wrong with that?
It's disrespectful.
Really?
I feel like I'm Joel now, talking about disrespect.
Oh, yes, yeah, you're very entertaining.
Do you catch Joel Friday TV?
Yes, I do.
Nice. Right on.
What about it?
Oh, because he talks about disrespect. So
I'm talking about Mark and his anger that he has against the Negro. He still got the same anger against the Negro.
But he also has anger against the illegal alien, and he has anger against the whites who are doing wrong.
Against the illegal alien and anybody else. You don't have to be the Negro by itself. It's anybody. We did not give this country away.
He believes that he's angry at evil. Are you angry at evil ever?
No.
Nice. How do you stay away from being angry at evil?
Because it don't bother me.
So evil doesn't bother you?
No.
What prompts you to call in when
I say they would get over it?
What prompts you to call in when my black callers agree with the whites? What prompts you to call in?
What prompts me to call in? Because I have a different opinion than they do. That's showing you that everybody don't think the same.
And so, are they evil?
We don't look the same, we don't act the same, and we don't do the same thing.
Are my black callers?
That's why I call you. I don't call you about what they're talking about. Or if they're telling a lie, I correct it.
Are lies evil?
Excuse me?
Are lies evil?
Are lies evil? I have to think about that.
Okay. That's fair enough.
What else?
I don't know. I'm run out of ideas.
That is why I call in. Most people think I call in just because people call in and say, the ones that have to agree with you, they're saying what you want to say to make you happy. I don't have to do that because I have my own brain, I have my own thoughts, and I have whatever I do is my opinion. That's their opinion if they have it. But if they're lying, I'm going to tell you the truth.
You know, Maze.
That's why you got a right hand and a left hand.
If you had your own mind,
brain and right side of the brain.
If you really had your own mind and own thoughts, then why would you be spewing this nonsense about police disrespecting black people and black people can't talk back to them?
No, I'm going back to where Mark was talking about those days. They never gave respect, and he still don't have respect.
No, there was mutual respect between whites and blacks more back then than today.
Because some of us never grew up around CWPs. We grew
Caucasian,
up in neighborhoods where
CWPs, Caucasian white people.
We had black doctors, black nurses, and all those different people and different things. And shouldn't you wonder what happened to those people?
What?
How did
Wait, what people?
All those things.
I was talking over you, Maze. I didn't hear what you were talking about.
I said that we had nurses.
Blacks?
We had cops. Yes, neighborhoods. With nothing in it but us.
Nice. Isn't that nice?
Came along.
Isn't that heaven on earth?
Y'all put it on something else. And Mark is still mad about that integration.
Right. A lot of blacks are too.
Excuse me?
A lot of blacks are too. Integration was wrong.
Because you don't think that black people are supposed to have anything. You think you're supposed to rule them so you can give them what you think they need.
Not true.
Because there's always a roadblock.
Are you talking about, you think that's how I think?
It's called private.
Wait, Maze, you think that's how I think?
That's the way you sound.
No, well, you're
explain to me how you think.
How I think about the blacks, they should do it for themselves.
Mm-hmm. They do it for themselves.
No, they don't.
When did they stop?
They stopped during the civil rights movement.
Really?
They got on welfare and they're begging for stuff.
Well, who was on welfare before black people got on welfare?
I think the white women.
So
Is that the answer?
What are you talking about?
Is that the answer? White women on welfare
That's
too?
your answer. I don't know why.
I don't want the whites on welfare either. I don't want them acting like the blacks.
I want everybody to own their own property, their own businesses, and do business with each other.
Yeah, but
the group of people that's jealous and don't want to see that happen.
But the Christian,
you look at today.
But the Christian capitalist way,
no
right?
Christian in it.
Not the communist capitalist way.
Yeah, there's no Christian about it and in it at all.
Whatever.
So if you got a private prison, somebody else should have each group should have their own private prison to put their people in so they can keep their communities up.
That's kind of cool.
Wealthy and but see, some communities got burned down. Was doing that, but what happened?
And then they rebuilt them.
How did that happen, Mark?
Through infighting. They were fighting amongst each other.
No, they were not infighting.
Yeah, they were.
You only use Oklahoma, but there was states across this country besides Oklahoma that was burnt down.
Because there was
black people.
Because blacks and whites were fighting even back then.
What were they fighting about? What were they fighting about?
Devil versus devil.
Really?
Yeah.
Devil versus devil. That's what you say.
Yep.
And then when
you think the blacks were such innocent angels that the whites just burn their communities down out of pure jealousy and no other reason? Or what?
Black Lives Matter.
Is that what you think?
Black Lives Matter. So those people that got burned out.
No, hold on. Do you think that the whites were so jealous of these innocent angels who were doing well for themselves? Oh, okay. So you don't know.
That's what I want you to explain to me.
I did explain it to you. The blacks were acting up, and the whites acted up, and they were doing bad things to each other.
They acted up enough to destroy their property?
Huh?
They acted enough to destroy their property and their land and all of that stuff?
It happens.
And they didn't have anything?
That's what happens in war.
Oh, war? What war? I don't know it was a war.
Race war.
Well, okay, that's what you call it.
Yeah.
That's what Mark wanted, a race war. For what?
No, he doesn't want a race war. He wants them gone.
That's what he said the other day.
Oh, if he did, then he's wrong. I differ with him on that.
Well, that's what he said. So
I don't know if that's what he said. You're not a reliable witness.
When it comes to the African Americans or Native Americans.
Don't call them African Americans. I've never heard you say that term.
The people, whatever y'all wanted to call us.
What do you call yourself?
Whatever you wanted to call us besides the Negro.
No. What do you call yourself?
What do I call myself? I tell you what's on my birth certificate.
What?
That's what I call myself.
What's on your birth certificate?
Y'all came up with those names and stuff, and we mark them and ask your race.
Uh-huh.
We didn't come up with that. Y'all did.
But what is it?
Yeah, not you, but your people did.
Docs, what's on your birth certificate? I want to hear it.
I said, on my birth certificate says I'm colored.
Nice. Hey, isn't that sweet? That's sweet.
Huh?
I said that's sweet.
Well, Jesse would probably say the same thing, or either say Negro, one of the two.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with those terms.
Say, well, why do you keep changing it instead of leaving where it was at the Negro? That's where it should.
Political correctness. It's dumb. I agree with you.
And it's dumb.
Yeah.
And now you.
So don't say African American, Mace.
You had Hispanic white. It should be Hispanic white. It should be just Hispanic. Period.
I agree. Those Hispanics are not white. Shout out to the white Hispanics.
Yeah, it used to be considered Hispanic white, but then they didn't want to be called that. They just want to be called Hispanic.
Mays, in the last
That's not my problem what you want to call yourself. I'm saying what you put on paper, on my birth certificate, and everybody else's birth certificate, what y'all wanted to put on there. Not what we wanted to be, because we could have been the same thing that we were in the beginning.
You lost me.
Negroes. That's what it was, Negro.
Nice.
When you find the young people today say, I'm not a Negro, what a Negro is. Negro was the strongest thing that America ever had.
Oh, Lord. Maze. Yeah, you're such a woman.
Because, you had to, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
What's wrong with being a woman? I'm glad
Nothing's wrong with being a woman. It's just that you're being very prideful and bigoted about the Negro thing. The Negroes are the strongest.
I'm proud to
every woman in her group thinks their group is the strongest.
No, I don't think no group is no strong.
Yeah, you just said Negroes are the strongest.
I said the Negro were the strongest.
Were.
That's right, because they tried to take
Kang.
everything away. You ain't gonna say they gave them welfare. They gave them good times and all those movies on TV too. I'm saying they can never get out. So that's where y'all stuck on, never getting out. You got to stay in this spot because we want you to be. Now look at where you all are. Everything coming in here.
Huh?
Now you're crying about it. They starting businesses and doing everything, and you're at the bottom. So now you're crying and want to put it on us. We didn't do it. Thank the people that did it. That looked like you.
Well, we blame the people for?
Don't put it on us because we didn't do it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Maze.
The reason the country is in the mess is in that y'all want to call a mess.
Are you part of the country?
Yes, I am part of it.
Yeah, and then there's
I'm not complaining about
other fellow blacks who are part of the country who are participating in the evil that's happening.
I am not complaining about it.
There are other fellow black Americans who are participating in the mess that is happening. So we point that out.
What's wrong with participating? That's y'all problem. Y'all don't want nobody to
participating in mess
you want to have
is
the whole
mess.
Apple. You want to have the whole apple or the whole piece of pie.
Whatever.
That's why you have to cut the pie.
I said you're misunderstanding me, Maze. I said participating in mess.
Oh, mess. That's what y'all are, mess. The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And one day, y'all will be woke.
All right.
And when you turn around, when you look around, it's because we didn't do it. I just keep telling you.
Do you want to talk to Jaime in Minnesota, Maze?
Huh?
Do you want to talk to Jaime in Minnesota?
Don't care.
Okay, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not afraid of nothing.
Jaime in Minnesota, talk some sense into Maze, please. If you want.
How's it going, Maze?
Hey.
I'm going marvelous as all every day.
Oh, that's good. Hey, I heard you say to Hake that he's not married, so he can't really tell you how to be as a woman. But I'm married, and my wife doesn't argue with me, and that's because I'm not a man who gives her a reason to argue. You know what I'm saying? So if you're arguing with your husband, talking back to him, it's because he's making you that way.
He's a disobeyed.
So it kind of makes me think that he's not a real man.
Really?
He's suggesting that it sounds like your husband.
She letting you control her man.
No, I don't.
That's what I think.
She and I have one mind.
Oh, one man.
Yeah. We're both religious, and we agree with God.
That's the problem.
We work together. We're synchronous.
You do too. We work together. Yeah. We do things together.
But we don't argue.
It sounds like you guys are judging each other's marriages.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's his marriage. If he's happy with it, that's his business. And this is mine. My husband don't tell me what to do. I don't tell him what to do. But we come to an understanding.
But you just admitted that you talk back to him sometimes.
Talk back to him.
Yeah,
that's what. So what's wrong with that?
That's what I'm calling about.
Right.
You mean
because you're an argumentative person?
Yeah,
I can't talk back to you.
I hear you a lot, and I
can't talk back to you.
I think that you would have been a much happier person if your parents didn't let you down.
My parents didn't let me
teach you this wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
You're funny.
If your mom had taught you the right way to be a woman.
Did you marry your wife to be
your dad had taught
marry her to be your husband?
You how
Maze, you're talking over him.
Sorry.
And if your dad had taught you how a proper man treats a woman, you probably would have married a proper man.
Yes, I have a proper man that knows how to treat a woman. Dearly. And he respects women.
It sounds like a male feminist.
What?
Why are you so argumentative?
I'm not arguing.
Good question.
You just don't like what I'm saying, and you understand. Now I ask you a question. Did you marry your wife to be her father, or did you marry her to be your husband? Her husband.
One other thing, when you had mentioned Mark and how he is still... One second, I'll get right to it. That you mentioned that Mark is still living in the 1960s.
He is.
I've learned hearing people, when a person says something about another person, they're saying it about themselves.
True.
I just said what I said.
I feel like you're stuck in the 1960s or 50s or 40s.
In religion?
Maze.
He doesn't answer my questions and then go around.
No. He will listen. He will answer your question later. But he's making no. Well, you're not the boss of the show.
No, I'm not the boss of the show.
Yeah. So he can answer it later. You calm down now and you listen to this point. It's deep.
I'm listening.
And
okay. So what he just said. Let me repeat what you just said, Maze. He said that you accused Mark of living in the 60s, and that's actually what you're doing, is you're living in the 60s. You're living in the times when you couldn't talk back to police who were disrespecting the black people doing nothing wrong. You're living in the 60s, not, well, I don't know whether Mark is or not, but you are.
Now, let me tell you where I'm living. I'm going to show you how I live. I live amongst
wait. Let me.
I hang around and do things with people that don't look like me, not from this country, and I have fun with them. I don't put them down and say, they shouldn't be in this country. You should go back to where you came from. I enjoy
one other point
the places
that I wanted to
learn
make
about
that
their places. So in the 60s, it was only 2 groups of people here. So somebody brought some more people in here that took your stuff away, but you blaming us for doing it, and you always say you got to give us something. You ain't got to give me nothing because I want to earn everything I got. I earned it.
All right.
Break the law.
Nice,
and
but
all those,
let's hear.
I want to destroy people.
Maze.
We don't think the same.
Yeah, you're a fair-minded person. Is your point? Let me hear.
Thank you.
Let me hear Jaime elaborate a little bit. Go ahead.
Let him answer the question first, please.
No. He'll answer the question after this.
I will.
Okay.
But the other point I wanted to make about that is your parents were supposed to grow you out of being in that age, that 1960s mentality. You were supposed to grow up spiritually.
Oh, no,
and your husband was supposed to help you with that too.
Those people follow Jim Jones because of spirit, and look what they did. I don't follow people. So we can get the spirit stuff out the way because that's what you use for a crutch. So when you lose me when you go there.
But I only speak that way because I'm a religious person too. I'm a Christian.
I'm not.
And I think you've said, aren't you a religious person?
She talks about God's law.
That's right, but I'm not. I don't care the devil's spirit because there is 2 spirits. The one got through out of heaven. Those are the spirits that I'm looking at walking around, creeping around here. So can you answer my question now, James?
Okay.
So did you marry your wife to be her father, or did you marry her to be your husband? Did he get quiet or his phone cut?
I married her to be her husband.
Well then, if you marry her to be her husband, you shouldn't try to be her father. You try to tell her what to do.
Right. Yeah.
But isn't a husband sort of a fatherly figure to a wayward wife, which is so often the case?
Because
I think that's the part where
for example, animal husbandry. You're containing the animal. You're breaking the horse's spirit. Isn't that animal husbandry? And aren't you supposed to break? Wait, Maze. Aren't you supposed to break the evil spirit of your wife and tame her to be a more sensible human being?
Oh, she got to do everything you say do, and she got to walk around in misery.
No, I was asking Jaime.
That really,
what do what you want to do.
Really
as long
drives
as you
the point.
Respecting you and you respecting her. That's y'all problem. That some men don't respect their wives because they think
you're not supposed to. The wife is supposed to respect the husband. Go ahead.
Your religious view. That's your religious view. To drop that.
Let me hear. Jaime can't get a word in edgewise. Maze, let Jaime speak.
Had your father been a husband to your wife, you would have been able to see how he was helping. He would have helped her.
Had your father been the husband to your mother.
If you had a father, and you watched him and his wife, where she had her opinion and he had his, that's a mother and a father showing you that you do not, that when you leave my house, you don't go back out and look for another father. Because I was your father when you was in this house. But you leave this house, you have your brain, and a mother will tell her son the same thing. When he leaves,
right, and you would have.
It's that honor
what
that
I'm
mother.
saying is, once you grew up, you would have picked a proper husband. But what you're saying is a feminist idea.
Yeah.
A husband and wife.
I know, but you've been brainwashed by feminism, Maze, and you don't even know it. Yeah.
I don't like feminism.
And the religion,
I don't either, but we've all been brainwashed by it.
That's right, you've been brainwashed. The stuff you need to watch your brain.
It's the spirit of the devil it's the spirit of the serpent. It's what feminism is. Go ahead. Jaime.
I don't.
It's just like Adam and Eve. Eve had her own mind. As you always say.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did not. She didn't bite the fruit.
Eve did not have her own mind. She had the serpent's mind.
If she did, she would have bit the fruit too, just like Adam did.
She did. She bit the fruit before Adam.
What do you say?
And so,
according to what I heard.
I don't know where you got your religious education.
What do you say?
But it sounds very incorrect. And the best thing to do would be to do something. One second, and then I'll let you go.
You tell your children
what
to do.
I'll let you do it.
No, you don't be your wife.
If you did the silent prayer, you could actually see who you're angry at. Because
I'm not angry at anybody. I'm happy. I love myself too much to be angry. So if you love yourself to be too much like that, you would know other things coming in the way anyway to get in the folk of being angry. Do you get it?
And I'm just weighing in because.
Do you ever have you ever heard of the silent prayer, Maze?
The Walking Dead. What?
You ever do the silent prayer?
No, I don't do no silent prayer because I don't know why you gonna take God's prayer and put a silent prayer in his place?
It is
What
God's
you
prayer.
About a silent prayer for? No.
What? Oh, so you do God's prayer?
Excuse me?
You
The
do
Lord's
God?
prayer?
You do God's prayer?
Lord's prayer.
No,
There's
God's
only one.
prayer. Oh, you do the Lord's prayer, the only one?
That is the Lord's prayer, not somebody made up prayer.
So you do the
know
Our
that's
Father. You have the spirit of Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Well, do you abide by that?
No, I'm
When you
asking
do
you, do you do that? You do that
Yes,
Lord's
I do.
Prayer thing? Oh, okay.
Yes, I do. So what's wrong with it? You
Um,
want me to replace it with a silent prayer?
no, the silent prayer is the Lord's Prayer.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you just do it in silence.
Yeah, the silent prayer is you don't have to think about it because that's how your spirit is.
Oh, really? You don't have to think about it. So you call the silent prayer the Lord's Prayer in silence.
Right, because you're a babbler, Maze, and so
Well,
you
whatever,
don't really
whatever
you
call me,
huh?
you're not saying Maze. You're not talking to me. You're talking at me.
No, I said you're a babbler, Maze.
If so, I'm supposed to get mad.
And so somebody who's
you get in your feelings if I tell you what you are?
do you
One
forgive the white cops their debts as God forgave you your debts?
Do you forgive people? That's why I say you need to
No,
forgive.
I asked you a question. I didn't ask you about me.
I don't hate cops. Did I say you? I said my brother
Did
was
you
a cop.
forgive?
Why
Do
did
you
hate?
forgive the white cops who were disrespecting the blacks back in the '60s?
I forgive all of the Walking Dead.
Did you
for what
forgive them?
they did to my people? I forgive them all.
You did?
Didn't they still here? Just like I say, Mark is still here. Only tell people what he did.
Did you forgive Mark?
Sure, I forgive him.
See?
But I won't forget it.
Oh, that's nice.
And I won't go fall in the trap that they
You
were
won't
in,
forget it.
'cause I'm not trying to be back there. You understand?
So you're living in the
But
'60s.
I'm living in 2024.
All right, go ahead,
I'm living
Jaime.
If I could make just two more
but if
points.
You make,
The first one's pretty quick
you should
and
let
easy.
your wife,
With Mark,
Schmaze.
you should let your wife.
with Mark,
Maze.
when I was listening to him talk,
Yeah, go ahead, Jaime.
I noticed that he was a lot calmer in the beginning, and it took him a lot longer to get ramped up. So I'm wondering if he's starting to look at himself.
Who's
and
that?
then when Kentucky John got on the phone with him, he didn't seem he got argumentative, but it didn't seem as bad as he does. You know, so it seems like he's getting better.
Who?
Mark.
Mark is getting better?
I'm not here to.
Yeah.
Jen, can I say what I gotta say? I'm not here to
Because
make
he was
people.
pretty calm. But the second thing, Maze, with the way that you're very argumentative and babbling with
arguing.
other callers, I think that's
Can't take it.
what you were like with your father, and probably what you're like with your
Can
husband.
I tell you what you would
So
like to tell
when you
husband?
say that you don't disrespect your husband, I don't believe you.
I don't disrespect my husband. I respect my husband in the most
Right.
highest that he can be. I love my husband.
That doesn't show with the way that you
My husband
talk
should
with
have-
other
your wife that way?
callers.
If you did, you would give her the same respect that she gives you.
All
Do you
right.
give her that?
So that's
Got
just
her
my
running around like a child, and she
that's
got
just my
everything. You do this,
observation.
You do that. That's not being
And
a man.
again, I've listened to Maze a lot, and
I know you did.
I like Maze.
I know you have.
She's great, and she's very entertaining. And if
I have my one
we love
husband.
anyone,
I
we
have
love
one
Maze.
husband, and I've had him for a
Nice.
long time. Cause
Thank you,
I told
Jaime.
You fall out your chair.
Appreciate you, man.
That's all I got.
All right.
I know that's all you got.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
You can't speak for me and my man.
That's true, Maze.
You
That's
say-
true.
So, and it goes like that. But I am not to be told like I'm a child, and when I can do stuff and when I can go places, that's not a man's part. You
Whatever.
agree if you can go, because he can go and you can go.
I still think you're a feminist and just don't realize it.
I'm not a feminist. I don't do what feminists do.
You think equal? You think?
I don't have no beliefs that
you
they
think
have.
men and women are equal?
They are.
No, they're not.
That's why it's equally yoked. That's
Did
what
God
it is.
ever? Did God ever say that they're equal?
What?
Did God ever say they're equal?
Did they?
I'm
So what
asking.
I was saying, if I couldn't talk to a person that don't have a wife to have a conversation about a wife.
You're
Somebody
dodging.
that came on was talking about a wife. My husband I don't respect my husband. Really.
But you just admitted
I
that
can
you
go
guys
places
talk
and my
back at
husband
each
is
other. If
still
you
around
talk,
the game.
if you
Let me
talk
tell you
back at
something.
each other, that's disrespectful.
No. I can go to places, and my husband can be somewhere on the other side of a store. And I'm talking about him. He can come up, and they already know that's my husband.
All right.
Just by me talking about him and what I was saying. Or it can be the opposite of him, and I'm somewhere else.
I gotta
That's
go,
how
Maze.
good our marriage is.
Take care, Maze.
When you get there, then you can stop trying to say you rule your wife, because that's what it sounds like, a ruler.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
And no, it doesn't.
Yeah, huh?
Who told you that?
Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's a fact.
Okay.
Even God said the man will rule over her.
Yeah.
You don't believe that?
No.
It's part of the curse. He will rule over you.
So okay, if you say so. Part of
And there were people in the chat saying we're not animals, Ake, that we break the woman's spirit.
Your children until they become 18 of age, and they're gone. So why you gonna get a wife and rule over her after you done married?
You better rule over her, otherwise she's gonna rule over you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what you think.
That's what I know. You're ruling over me for the last half hour.
Well, you're thinking wrong. I'm not ruling over you.
Yeah,
I'm giving my opinion.
Well, that's nice. Thank you, Maze.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I don't know if there's nothing wrong with your opinion.
And when it comes to true facts, I give those to you too. But y'all said I'm angry and I love myself too much. That's why y'all don't bother me, and I'm just listening to you. Mark don't even bother me because he got too much hate for himself. That's what's wrong with it. But once Mark learned to love himself, he'll be a better and a stronger person, and he'll stop worrying about somebody coming into this country to get him.
Okay,
and
Maze.
You and him and all the rest of them to think that somebody come across that border because somebody came across the border to start America, as they say, that people were already here.
That's okay. That's the way of the world.
The same fear, and America would have been.
You're thinking like a woman, Maze. You're thinking like a woman. That's the way of the world.
I am a woman, so what am I supposed to think like a man?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
A little bit.
I'm not one. They make me a man. He made me a woman.
I know, but then if the world was run by women, it would be even worse.
If it was ran by women, you don't know what it would be.
I already know that it would be worse because parts of the world are already run by women, and it's bad.
That's your fear.
It's not fear, it's truth.
You get hurt, the first person you run to was not your father, was your mother.
Mommy.
And she had to take care of your needs.
That's because my dad wasn't home.
Anything that happened to you. Don't say no, your dad wasn't there.
My dad was he was there, but he wasn't home. He was working.
What?
He was out working.
He wasn't working 24/7 because Saturday and Sunday he should have been off.
But I didn't get hurt on Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, over here, that's the time you got hurt because you was going to school, I guess, and then in the house, and then on the weekend. And if you fell down, who would you run to, your mom or your dad?
I gotta go, Maze. Nice talking to you.
That's what I'm saying. And both of them should have took you together. That's what it's called. Two men, a man and a wife, working together with their children.
All right.
Between the hurt and the pain and all of that together, they do it together, not apart. So whoever the guy you were talking to, and that's how we honor each other.
Okay.
So you have a good one.
You too.
It was nice chatting with you.
Yeah, nice talking with you too.
And Mark need to get it together. And I want him the next time come on, tell us what he was doing in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
I'm
interested too. You too. Bye. Wow.